A few weeks ago, Amy Harmon, a respected science journalist at the New York Times, turned her attention to the GMO debate, writing a masterfully textured story about the plight of the Florida orange, and the role biotechnology might play in rescuing it from a potentially deadly disease. It was widely praised by independent journalists for its even-handed analysis of the costs and benefits associated with adopting new technologies, like genetic modification, to food. As influential as the Times may be among the chattering classes, don't you expect this story to alter the trajectory of the debate over GMO foods? While every major scientific regulatory oversight body in the world, including the National Academies of Science and the Food and Drug Administration in the United States, has concluded that genetically modified foods pose no harm not also found in conventional or organic foods, the public remains deeply suspicious of them. A survey published in the same newspaper the day before Harmon's piece ran found that 37% of those interviewed worried about GMOs, saying they feared that such foods cause cancer or allergies. In the past 2 weeks alone, details and Elle have run pieces that credulously stoke conspiratorial fears that the government is covering up evidence that GMO foods can damage the public health. Caitlin Shetley's long feature, The Bad Seed: The Health Risks of Genetically Modified Corn, in Elle magazine with more than 1.1 million monthly readers, was particularly appalling. Shetley is the protagonist of her article, and the plight she faced that spurred her to write this story is truly sad. She was plagued for years by a variety of debilitating symptoms, from headaches to fatigue to hands frozen into claws by pain. She went from one doctor to another, but no cause was identified, and no cure found. On the recommendation of her physician, she went to see Maine allergist Paris Mansman. Shetley showed symptoms, he concluded, of eosinophilic disorder, a multisystemic condition in which white blood cells overproduce in response to allergens. These abundant cells release enzymes that break down proteins, which in turn damage the esophagus, airways, or other organs. But what was causing the reaction? Mansman opined that Shetley's condition could be the result of eating genetically modified GMO corn. It was an unusual diagnosis. Although the article does not specify what tests may have conducted to reach this diagnosis, there is no empirical evidence to support the belief that GMOs can be linked to unusual incidences of allergies, and the condition is not listed in federal government's National Notifiable Diseases list. I contacted Dr. Mansman at his home and office requesting his perspective, but did not receive a response. According to Shetley, the Maine physician suggested she strip all corn from her diet. Within months, she writes, her symptoms had subsided. Amazed and gratified at her recovery, she decided to write an article about her experience. She interviewed a range of scientists who appear to confirm her greatest fear, that Monsanto and the biotechnology industry are foisting untested lab-created foods on Americans and their children, leading to unprecedented health problems. Shetley's narrative is emotionally compelling, but only that. It just isn't to withstand the critical scrutiny of science. Let us start with her central premise. Genetically modified foods, or more specifically genetic modified corn, can cause allergic reactions. Is that even possible? Can the process of genetic modification create allergies? Not likely, said Pamela Ronald, an internationally respected plant geneticist at the University of California, Davis, and a pioneer in developing sustainable agricultural solutions. After 16 years of cultivation and a cumulative total of 2 billion acres planted, no documented adverse health or environmental effects have resulted from commercialization of genetically engineered crops. Mansman's belief that GMOs may cause allergic reactions and autoimmune disorders is a familiar trope in the anti-crop biotechnology literature, from sources ranging from naturalnews.com to the Union of Concerned Scientists. Such treks often gleefully point out that the rise in reported food allergies in the U.S. over the past 16 years coincides with the advent of our consumption of genetically modified crops. Where you want to find such claims is in the established scientific literature. There has not been one study that links the genetically engineered corn, or any approved genetically modified food on the market, to allergies.